I'm not having relations with my husband until he agrees to this three-way. So there's this guy that I work with. He's super attractive, super handsome, and he came up to me and he asked me if I would be interested in dating him. I told him that I'm married, and he came up with the idea that maybe we could have a three-way. So I went home and I proceeded to tell my husband about it and ask him if he wanted to have a three-way with this guy that I work with. He said no, and I don't really think that's fair. He expressed to me that he doesn't want to have relations with anybody else, and he doesn't want me to have relationships with anybody else. And I think that that is extremely selfish of him to not want to do that. So I have decided that until he says yes, I am not going to be romantic with him. I have decided to pack up most of my things and sleep in the other room and make that room my room until he agrees to do that. I don't think that I'm being dramatic, and I just think that he's being extremely selfish.
You know, my uncle gave me a saying when I was younger. And that saying is, blank ain't worth it. I'm going to let you fill in the blank. The word starts with the letter P, ends with the letter Y. I still kind of live by that to this day. If I remember correctly, he told me that, but I was like 16, 17 maybe, if I remember correctly. He wasn't lying. Blank ain't worth it. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video. I'm going to start off with this by saying maybe this is a skit. She just made this up just for clicks and views. That is very disrespectful to your husband and your marriage. I don't care even if he agreed to it. That is still very disrespectful to your husband and marriage. Even if he said, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Even if he came up with the idea for you to say these things, you know what you should have said? Nah, baby, because I think this is going to be, this don't sit right with me. Nah, I shouldn't do this because I don't want nobody looking at you a certain way, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Because y'all ladies are big on a man embarrassing you. So why would you say or do anything that would embarrass him? Anyway, let's go ahead and go with the notion that this video is real. Because I do believe it's real. I'm going to start this off by what she said. There's this guy at her job that asked her out. She said, no, I'm married. That's the best part so far. That's the only good part so far. Okay? Alrighty. Then, she said that the man asked her for a threesome. And she said, let me ask my husband. That should have been a no right off the bat. You shouldn't have even said, let me ask my husband. You should have went and filed a complaint with your HR department. All of that good stuff. See what I'm saying? Okay. Now, excuse me. Now, what you should have did after that was, he wants to have a three-way with me and my husband. Let me go ask my husband. That should have never happened, but you did. That's disrespectful right there in its own right. Because y'all women know damn well if a man would have brought that up to y'all, y'all would be pissed. Y'all would be heated if your man would have said, hey, babe, that's this girl at work. She want to have a threesome with us. Let's do it. Y'all would be pissed. Now, your husband is the only one that got some goddamn common sense. He said no. And then for you punishing him, you're not going to be intimate with your husband until he says yes? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? I would have told, if I was your husband, I would have said, okay, you can go and have sex with him, but let's go ahead and go to a divorce lawyer tomorrow. Let's go and get the paperwork going. You can do whatever you want. Because I saw the comments in this video, and a lot of women was defending this. Why can't she have fun? How come you won't let her blah, blah, blah? Oh, no, she could do it. I ain't got to be a part of it. Or she can do whatever she wants. I don't have to be there. I don't have to be a part of this. Because, see, the whole deal is this. I don't give a damn if y'all do have an open marriage. Why on God's green earth would you even want to do this? With all the STDs going around, and I know y'all going to bring up protection. Everybody on God's green earth know protection is not 100%. Anything can still happen. If I remember correctly, condoms is 90% effective. So there's still a 10% chance that something can happen. Unwanted pregnancies, unwanted STDs, anything with your health, anything. But you don't care, you're willing to deal with the consequences just for a few minutes of fun. Seriously. Seriously. So later on, don't get mad when you have to deal with the consequences of your own actions. Because I was your husband, the first consequence you're going to have to deal with is a divorce. I would take this video to court, to a lawyer. Hey, she don't want to be with me no more because I won't, join in her sexual escapades. Okay. Peace. That's what I would have said. Because all the years I've been married to my wife, in a few more months, we'll be married 18 years. And not one time have I ever thought about going to go get another woman. And my wife has never asked me about another man. Put it like this. I know my wife don't want me inside of another woman, and I don't want no man inside of my woman. Huh? Very disrespectful. Why would I even invite that kind of negativity into my life? Because there's this old saying, once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it. The only way you can close it is something tragic happen. So why would you even want to do that? And like I said, even if this video is not real, she just made it up, why would you disrespect your marriage, your husband, your relationship, everything? Why would you do that? I don't care. My wife can come to me right now and say, hey, make a video talking about I do this, I do that, blah, blah, blah. I would say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to disrespect my wife like that. Because somebody going to think it's real. And people that know me is going to be looking at me and my wife a certain way, disrespecting us. I don't want that. No. I'm not going to open that up. No. That's why you don't ever really hear me talking about my marriage that much. You only hear me talk about my marriage a certain way. Yeah. Because y'all women love to put y'all business out there for the world to know. Don't know why, but y'all do. And that's another thing. You'll get mad if a man put his business out there. But anyway, all I'm going to say is this, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video. At the end of the day, you get what you get, and don't get mad at the consequences of your own actions.